Several weeks back, I had some source players reach out to me because they had had dreams that were concerning them. Okay. And so I think it's good to dive into the topic of dreams again today. It doesn't matter what the dreams were about because that's really not so important. It's more about how those dreams made you feel and why are you having dreams. Okay. So we're having dreams for the most part because there's something we've done through the day that is making us energy extracted from us. We've done something where there's non-retrievable energy being extracted. Okay? So maybe your subconscious mind is making you pay for something that you've judged or you've been critical about or something. Your subconscious mind still has this belief of right and wrong or good and bad. And that's something to pay attention to. Um, it's it could be because there's a vortex or portal. I think I've referred to them as portals. I really meant to refer to them as vortexes. There's a vortex that you've slept in, that you're sleeping in, that's causing you to have all kinds of very energy extracting dreams. And or there's like different reasons. Maybe you got an entity attachment and you're not aware of it. You didn't clear your energy. You didn't do pillar spin. Um, Remember, pillar spin will remove attachments. It will remove new attachments, but you also can verbally revoke those attachments as well. But, I like to do a combination and whatever. I will do pillar spin almost every day. There's days I forget. There's days I forget to retrieve my energy. That's another one for me, okay? If I fail to retrieve energy, if I've been in a lot of places, it's less and less these days, thankfully, because I stay at home now to work. But when I do gallivant, I sometimes forget. You have to pull your energy back in because I still am under this whole thing of I programmed it to be automatically retrieved. But I have found that to have not worked for me. But I'm not getting into that again. So if I forget to pull that energy back into me, I'll most likely have a dream. I'll most likely have a dream because I've been careless with my energy. Okay. Also, it's important to really pay attention. Okay, I've gone through my life looking at certain, being, we live in a very judgmental society in the United States, particularly. It's a very judgmental society. And just what I know of other cultures are judgmental as well, So I think it's a universal thing. And it's very easy to fall within that. You really think of every pitfall of a source player, society will reflect that back to you. So, the judgment of stuff can be there. And you may be so used to thinking a certain way that you don't perceive it as being judgmental or critical of others, of things, and that's a learned habit. It's a learned trait. You can unlearn it. That's one thing. Let's say you get an entity attached to you. You have to remove the entity attachment. You've got to do pillar spins at least daily, or at least several times a week, I should say. Daily is preferable. I don't always remember because some days I'm just like, I am on autopilot, which sucks, but that's just how I get through my day sometimes. And I'll forget because by the time I'm hitting the pillow, I just don't even have the mental energy anymore, whatever the case may be. So the pillar spin, if I don't do it and I've done something or I've gone somewhere or whatever, I might have a dream. if I've gone somewhere and I haven't retracted energy, I haven't pulled that energy back to me, I may have a dream. And I was, operating a certain way for so long. Now I realized in the last several months, like, hey, you're not doing this correctly. It's not benefiting you. You need to make sure you're winding your energy back into yourself. So that's that. You have to, it's not so much about what happens in the dream. It's more about paying attention to what you're doing in your awakened state that is making you have that experience in your sleep state. You have to work on your subconscious and either deprogram some stuff in there. You have to neutralize the subconscious. If your subconscious still has like this idea of right and wrong, sin and karma kind of stuff, you're going to have to work on that. And anything else that you think that you might be, you are the reason why you experience things and do things and think things. You are 100% the reason why. So it's really about examination. More and more, it's examination. It's a constant looking at your thoughts and letting things come to your awareness. Tell your source self to make you aware of things that you're doing that are hindering you, whatever. Have your subconscious call your attention to things. Your source self, have your source self call your attention to things to help you through your game. And, my experience, my life experience, I will experience something for like a period, like a stretch of time. Like it happens over and over and over, because now it's like the next thing is coming up. Okay. Now this problem is coming up and I'm going to have this problem again. I'm going to have this problem again. I'm going to have this problem again. And as I'm doing that, I'm learning, I'm figuring, you know what I mean? Like, it's like when you are studying and you're going through the repetition of practice to learn something. Eventually you keep going. You do the repetition, you work at it, you tackle it from different angles until you get it, until it clicks. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're aware of it, you see it, you can fix it, or you know it, you've incorporated it into you. Those are things to consider when you're having a dream. You should pay attention to dreams in the respect that you've had a dream. Why and how can I resolve it? Can I program my subconscious mind to let me sleep soundly and deeply? You should try that as many times as you need to until it sticks. It doesn't always stick for me, clearly. But you have to also understand, I also have sleep disturbances. I have the whole sleep thing. So there's that. Now, another thing is, I've said the contents of a dream are not important. They're not important. Now, however, there's going to be parts of a dream that are going to they're going to stand out to you more than others, because something about that dream, something about that thing that's standing out to you is the thing that extracted the most energy. It got you emotionally charged. I've had dreams where I've been angry at people and I've wanted to punch them in their faces. I've had all kinds of weird dreams like that. Or, my dreams are bizarre when I have them. They're really bizarre. But every dream is meant to evoke an emotional response. So if you're having a terrifying dream, if you're having a nightmare, well then that is doing that. It's doing that. But also, it is not necessary to let that fear linger. If you have a dream where you're interacting with another being, whether they look like a human, whatever it is, whatever form they take in the dream, if they're threatening your life, well, you know how that made you feel in that moment. Do not allow yourself to continue to feel that in your waking state. Yes, it may stick with you and it's designed to do that, but you gotta like knock that fear out. Now, there's that little swiping technique that quartz crystal, you just swipe it away. Like, when you have an earwig, a song earwig going on in your brain, or you have pervasive thoughts, you have invasive thoughts like that, where you're dwelling on a dream that scared you. Do the swipe technique. If the swipe technique is not effective for you, try doing some EFT tapping. It's a disruption of the thought pattern. So when you're tapping on your face or on little pressure points, whatever the whole technique is, right? When you're doing that, you're disrupting the thought patterns and you're stopping it. And you have to figure out your wheelhouse, whatever your little toolbox is that's going to help you figure this stuff out. But understand, nothing in your dream can harm you, okay? Nothing in your dream can harm you. Nothing that may talk to you in your dream can harm you. If you feel like you are hearing disembodied voices, you very well could be attached to, you have to do your pillar spin. And you have to do it as long as it takes. Could be a minute, could be 5 minutes, could however long, until you feel better about it, until you feel that lingering fear or that lingering thought, or if you're still being bombarded with voices, you need to pillar spin. That is the most effective way to get rid of it. Of course, you have to verbally revoke any consent on any timeline, dimension, or realm that you could have consented to being attached to, and you revoke. So I'm going to leave it at that. Just know that there's nothing to fear. There is absolutely nothing to fear. Really get your mind to understand that. As a child, we all develop these whole, like, the boogeyman under, you know what I mean? Like the boogeyman under the bed, or something's going to get me, or the floor is lava. You know what I'm saying? Like those irrational childhood fears. Monsters Inc., that kind of stuff. Or that boogeyman takes different forms. So you got to look at that, and you really say there is absolutely nothing to fear. More particularly if you revoke your death contract, you kind of, not in a delulu kind of way, not in a delusional kind of way, but you kind of get into this mindset of being untouchable. I don't want to really go, like, don't take that the wrong way, but I'm saying, like, really think about this. Those things cannot harm me. Therefore, they have no power. And that's really where it is. You have the power. Think about that. Quantify that. You have the power. All right. I'm going to leave you on that. You have a great day.